Hello, my name is Dillan Jefferis, and I'm giving my narrative speech on the day my daughter was born. Now, when I was younger, I always imagined what it would be like to be a dad and the impact it would have on my life. I can remember the first time I'd found out about my wife being pregnant. I was filled with mixed emotions and feelings, and began to ask a million questions in my mind. Questions like, can I afford to have a child? Am I old enough or responsible enough? Could we both make it if we had a child? I'm sure most parents go through this process when they first hear the news, but for me it was real and kind of a mixed emotional feeling that I don't know if I was prepared for a child yet. But the main thing is most people talked about to me and my wife was how hard it was to raise a child. Whether it was financially difficult or it was a lot of work staying up, getting up early, changing diapers, things like that. But me being young and a pretty spry young guy, I thought that I could do it and didn't think it would be too hard, but I was definitely wrong. Now, the first time I found out I was going to be a dad was kind of a fun and memorable experience. I remember first going to the store with my wife to get a pregnancy test. About 3 months after we got married, we decided we wanted to have a child, so we decided to go ahead and try. My wife thought that she was pregnant, so we were going to do the pregnancy test, and she decided to do it without me one morning, getting ready for work. She, at the time, worked really early. I didn't work until the afternoon, so I woke up to get ready for work, and on the mirror was red lipstick that said, "You're going to be a daddy." So it was really cool and real meaningful moment in my life. The thing I was not ready for was all the doctor's appointments and all of the examinations and things that go with it. There were a lot of doctor's appointments, and I remember the first time I went to an appointment, there were so many tools and machines and a lot of "what are you doing there" kind of questions, and but we got through it, and I think after the first couple, my wife actually took her mother with it because I was kind of annoying and asked too many questions, so I wasn't allowed to go back. The third thing that was the hardest part was probably the waiting game. Waiting for a child is a lot of mixed feelings. A lot of questions you ask is, really, I want to see my daughter or my son. At that moment in time, we didn't find out what our child was going to be. Later on, we found out it was going to be a girl. And I was a little more excited, but also scared, because a boy, I think, would be easier to raise. A girl, I didn't know if I had the qualities that it would take to raise a girl, but I knew I could learn. The bad news was very far along in my wife's third trimester. We found out that my daughter wasn't growing anymore. She had a deficiency, and she was stuck at about 5 pounds. They were giving her some medicine and trying to get her to get bigger. That did not work out, so I remember one day at work I got a call from my wife. She said, "Hey, they're sending me to the medical center. We're going to go ahead and they're going to have we're going to have this baby early." I remember my wife, I can honestly say she did not cry once, or she did not scream once during that pregnancy. I don't know what planet she's from, but she did not scream or anything like that, and I just could not believe that, because I was screaming my head off on the inside, wanting to yell. But I couldn't, because I had to stay strong for her. But it was a little scary, because my daughter, the fact that she wasn't growing and she wasn't getting the oxygen and the things she needed, it kind of worried us. But we are a spiritual family, and we decided to pray, and we knew that God was going to take care of it. And next thing you know, on July 15th, 2011, the doctor pulls out my daughter, smacks her on the behind, and I can hear her crying for the first time. I got to watch her and see how they take care of babies. It was kind of a real, scenario for me. And I remember I wouldn't hold my daughter for the first few weeks because she was only 5 pounds. So she was about yay big, and I just didn't want to break her because I'm a pretty big guy. But I'll never forget the day my daughter was born and the influence it had on me. Her being born made me into the man I am today. She makes me better because of the love in her smiles. And without her, I would be lost and I would have no reason to try and be the best I can as a father. I can't wait to grow and watch her grow and become the woman I know she can be. I want to thank you for your time, and my hope is that you can understand how important it is on becoming a new father. Thank you.